Good afternoon, everyone. It's that time again. Yes, Dianne Solano here, hosting our bi-weekly podcast called Empowered Through Health. My goal for today as an orthomolecular nutritionist, yes, I know it's a mouthful, is to showcase all the wonderful practitioners I have met around the world that are having such powerful impact on so many people's lives, and especially with their health. So as you know, when we meet bi-weekly, we feature different practitioners that are excellent in their field, that they're dominating and having true transformation. This conversation today is really about giving you tools and options about what you can do to get your health to the next level. Because the truth is, you've been blessed with an amazing life. Our bodies thrive on natural nutrition, strategies, food, vitamins, supplements. And really, when you become a better version of yourself, you go out in the world and you become a better version of you. So that's today's goal, is to educate you, to inspire you, and to give you different ideas and different tools and plant different seeds around what you can possibly do. So it's not here to diagnose, it's not here to give you any medical advice, rather empower you so that you become your own best health advocate, which is really what it's all about. So with no further ado, I want to introduce you to today's guest, the beautiful and wonderful Miranda Sommer, who I met about maybe 2 to 3 years ago at a functional medicine practitioner conference here in Toronto. She flew in, and I just loved hearing the transformation that was taking place with all the people that surround her, her tribe, and a program that they do with her called a metabolic reset. Now, Miranda's background, she's an FDN-P, which stands for Functional Diagnostics Nutrition Practitioner. So she does know her stuff when it comes to nutrition and functional medicine. So both of us are a little bit of that science geek, but we love having that transformation taking place. And Miranda's specialty, I see so many stories, Miranda, so many people, and these before and afters all over your social media. I know you were featured as one of the top docs for having one of the best results of that conference. And I'd love to open up today's conversation with your story. What inspired you to, have this vision and take so many people around the globe to the next level of who ultimately they can become in terms of their weight loss and really their health and the transformation that they're achieving?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. It's so good to see you. Although we're not in person, I'm glad that I got a chance to actually meet you in person. That makes this such a much more rich experience. But yeah, it's kind of an out-of-body experience for me to even be a practitioner and to be helping people with transforming their bodies with weight loss, because I have struggled with weight my entire life. I know a lot of people can relate to that. I've been on a diet probably since I was as old as I could remember, 7, 8, probably, counting calories, doing exercise and things like that. Well, I did the yo-yo thing. I did Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, South Beach, keto, you name it. And as I progressed through my adulthood, it took some major walls, hitting some major walls with my health to kind of wake up to what really I needed to do, is I needed to create health. And so I was chasing weight loss. And I think there's a lot of people out there doing that. They're doing the best that they can and they're trying really hard, but we don't appreciate the way that the body works. And I had to learn those lessons the hard way. So one of the big light bulb moments for me was when I was told that I would probably never be able to have children. Now, this is very impactful for any woman, but for me, I went to school to become a teacher so that I could be the best mom. So truly, when that hit me, I was like, I can't take no for an answer. I've got to figure out what's going on. So that kind of started my journey about 10 years ago, I guess it was about 12 years ago when I was given that diagnosis. So I started to hunt, I started to hire, personal trainers and, nutritionists and different integrative doctors to figure out why. But I kept being told that I was fine. And the truth of it is I really wasn't fine. And so luckily I was able to lose some weight on my own by truly doing the Biggest Loser thing. Everybody knows that, right? Where we're exercising 8 hours a day and not eating a whole lot. Well, I did that. And I lost like 70 pounds the first time. And that's how I was able to become pregnant with my first son, Cooper, who is now 10. But through that progression of me learning about my health, after I became pregnant with my second daughter, who is now 7, during her first year of life, I went back to this over-exercising and under-eating, and I nearly died. So I spent the day in the cardiac unit. I was close to having a heart attack or a stroke, and I left there being told I was fine. So this is why I'm so glad that you invited me onto this podcast, and this interview is because one of these changed my life. If I hadn't heard a podcast and heard somebody that had a similar story that was doing all of these things and that they thought were healthy, but, exercising a lot, what you feel like is eating healthy and still feeling the worst you'd ever feel in your life, then I don't think I ever would have connected the dots. So that's why you're going to have a hard time keeping me silent about what I've learned. Okay. So with my background in education and hearing that podcast, I found the world of functional medicine, and I went all in. It was literally that day I went out to a retreat that changed my life. I found my tribe of people. That's how I met you. And so from there, I was dedicated to healing myself through the principles of functional medicine and committed to helping other people who were like me, who were trying really hard, but unfortunately were doing a lot of things that were sending us in the opposite direction. So understanding that the way the body works, the way we need to fuel it, honoring the stress response, which dictates all disease, dysfunction, and that like spare tire around our hips and thighs that keep us from wearing skinny jeans and looking good in our clothes, or whatever it is that's fighting our confidence or making us feel lethargic, or having any symptoms from whether it's high blood pressure or high blood sugar. Everybody's got different dysfunction, but it all kind of comes from the same source. It's too much stress and not eating enough of the right things. And so that's kind of what brought me through to become a functional practitioner. At the end of the day, I am what I've always been, is I am an educator and a nurturer. So I kind of feel like it's my goal to be the mom to the world. Is I'm just going to help you learn how to fuel yourself, and I want you to take care of yourself and teach you how. Like, I'm not going to do it for you. Mom's not going to pick up the clothes on your floor, but I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to give you the tools, the skills, and the strategies. A lot of the things that you were just introducing your show with. That's exactly what my program is I'm trying to give you all of the tools and the things that you need to truly change your lifestyle. So like I said, people come to me for weight loss because I've lost 100 pounds total, and I've done it the wrong way a lot. And when you create health, it comes off the right way, and you're fixing a whole lot of other problems under the surface at the root cause when we do it the way that I teach people through my program.
And that's what I loved about it, Miranda, is that it's not about calories in, calories out. It never is. And it's never the mindset.
It never was. It never was, and it never will be.
That's so 1980s. Calories in.
It's so 1980s. It's so 1980s. And we know more. We know more about the body. And we forgot to read the owner's manual for our own vehicle. And that's what I tried to kind of make it super simple. So having taught third grade for well over a decade, I feel like comes in really handy, because there's a lot of complicated health, information that we get. And it's my job to help you understand it in a simple way, because not everybody wants to be a practitioner like you and I. They need to know the basics. They need to know the 101. And more importantly, they need to implement it. And that takes strategy, support, a whole lot of support, a whole lot of love, and the education, of the why. Like, you're not going to do anything you're not motivated to do or don't understand or believe in. So that's kind of the basis for the program.
And that's what I loved, was that when I saw that you were really addressing that biochemical need. Nutrition has been around for thousands of years. It's not going away. Our bodies have evolved in receiving nutrition through plants nutrition, through animal nutrition, whether it's protein, macro, micro. It's all about nature meeting nature, the frequency of having that real fundamental nutritional value and depth in our cells. Our cells thrive in nutrition. They've done it for thousands of years, but food doesn't have what it takes anymore to make bodies thrive. And I can identify with your story, Miranda, when you said, you couldn't have a baby, you had a lot of health issues, and you lost 100 pounds. Usually what's happening on the inside is a reflection of what's happening on the outside. Bodies don't lie. They are so honest. So if your skin's breaking out, if your hair is falling out, you can't move your bowels, you can't sleep, it's because your body's always speaking a language. And, you know, I too was empowered with the whole natural world was because I too was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. We now know there's a relationship with insulin and food. It was food. I wasn't eating the right things. And it wasn't until at that time, my first healthcare provider, who was a natural nutritionist, who I found out through a referral of a friend who also lost a lot of weight. So here we go. We see a pattern where he said, you know what, give me a diet diary, everything you put in your mouth. And when I showed him a week later, I was sugar, carb, sugar. He's like, you have no essential fats. You have no protein. Dianne, you don't have what it takes to make hormones. You want to build a house? You need brick, you need mortar, you need wood, you need nails. You just don't have what it takes to make hormones, my friend. Good luck with that. But do you want to have a body that thrives? Well, you need to give it the building blocks. And I know this is an area you address. So what would be an example? And can anybody do this program with you? Because I see all the time people going, well, yeah, it's my thyroid. Or, you know what, I have this autoimmune condition. And then we have these barriers, these limitations where we were told, or we assumed that because there was a diagnosis, that now my body is shut down forever and it's not possible. And I really tell people, if bodies are alive and cells are alive, they're always looking to come back to health. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that and how your program weaves those fundamentals in.
Yes. So first of all, to answer your first question, can this program be for anybody? Yes. So this is not just a weight loss program. The majority of the population, when their body's in dysfunction or stress, tends to store fat. Okay, so there are tons of people that come to me that do my 12-week reset, that it has nothing to do with weight loss. It has to do with healing the body. So I love the analogy you use. It's one that I use all of the time, is that we need the building blocks. And if they're not there, you can't build a house if you don't have the lumber. If you don't have the tools, you can't do that. So your body can't heal if it doesn't have those resources. The other analogy that I use for people is that, food is either helping or hurting us. And our body knows how to heal itself. And so imagine if you have a cut or a scrape on your arm or your leg. So we all know that we don't have to take, a drug or anything in order for our body to know how to heal that up. We know that our cells are programmed to do that. Our bodies are so smart. But if I sat there and cut that same cut over and over and over again every single day, there's no way my body can get on top of that faster than I'm injuring it. So not only do we need to give our body the resources to heal, we need to stop the cutting. We need to stop the damaging. And a lot of the things that we perceive to be healthy are not. And so we have to identify the things in everybody's diet that are causing damage before we can allow the building blocks, the nutrition, to heal. So in the program, it's very individualized. It's a 12-week program, but everybody comes to the table so different. They have different health challenges. So no matter whether it's a thyroid condition or an autoimmune condition, so like rheumatoid arthritis, or you mentioned PCOS or endometriosis. Type 2 diabetics are some of my favorites, because I don't think we need to be dealing with type 2 diabetes. We can make it go away with food, and we do. And so just honing into what the individualized nature of this, and me educating you on how we got there in the first place, and how by giving ourselves the right tools with nutrition and our lifestyle, we're talking about that as well, that our body can just use those resources and the messages that we're giving it. Because like you said, it's nature. It's also not numbers. So it's not fat grams. It's not calories. It's not minutes clocked on, a treadmill. It's the messages that we're sending our body and what we need to do in order to create health forever, whether it's just losing weight for a period of time. We have to create health and vitality. And it all starts the same way. So that's why this is something everybody can use.
I love it. So if I were someone that wanted to maybe find out more about your program, so you said it's 12 weeks.
Yes.
They do an individualized consultation to start.
Yes. So the first thing that happens, so it's a 12-week program, and there's two phases to it. We call it the losing phase and the lifestyle phase, because your body's not designed to lose weight for a long extended period of time. And so we kind of need to clean house a little bit. So for my people that don't want to lose weight, we're still going to do kind of like a detox type phase before we add some other things back in. But the 12-week program is me working with you individually every week. So it starts with an intensive functional medicine intake. So I'm going to look at, all of your history, whether it's the things that you like to eat, your detox ability, your hormone. If you've got blood labs, send those to me, and I'm going to give you my functional intake on all of that. But more importantly, you're going to have some resources. I have a 12-week course that goes along with this. So there's an online exclusive members area with weeks and weeks of content that I give you in bite-sized pieces to be that 101 owner's manual for your body that nobody didn't get.
Yeah.
And then we take the individualized nature that we start with our initial consult, and week by week, I'm helping each individual implement, because that's where it gets hard. Some people are traveling. Some people love to cook. Some people don't know how to cook at all. And so it's the support, the education, the accountability, and all of that included in one. So, and that's what I think it takes. I think it takes all of that. Otherwise, our experiences, our negative experiences tend to pull us off track. And so the community is a perfect example of one of the things that's really hard to explain, but we have over 200 people, I think 250 people is what we reached as of the end of last year, that have done this in the last 2 years, had amazing success, and you get them as cheerleaders too. So we just got off of a group call before I got on here with you, and it's one of the most inspiring thing to see a couple come on and have lost 58 pounds and 55 pounds and hear all of their health issues, getting better, and it's very inspiring. So you get that kind of support as well throughout the 12 weeks and beyond. So once you're in the community, you're in. And so it's our tribe. So like a tribe helped save me, I'm creating that for everybody else.
And I think that's one of your secret sauces. There's many, but one of them is definitely the tribe you have. And you have so many resources, and it's very well structured. I used to do a lot of brick and mortar, and when people came in to do programs with me, it was very effective, but they didn't have the online platform that you have designed now, which is such a blessing, because there's a course that comes with it, and there's information and a tribe. 10, 20 years ago, that didn't really exist. It was exhausting, and that person needed more support. But now with the use of technology, this has been beautiful, because you get the expertise, but then you get the person, the running buddy that's with you, and then you get the graduate that's looking back going, yes, you can do it. I was there too. And it's that community that helps you believe, because sometimes you got to borrow someone else's belief in order to start growing your own. But then when you have that little breakthrough, or it could be simple, like you say no to something you would never say no to, and being proud of that creates a new identity. And that's what I think is part of your success too, Miranda. And by the way, your success rate is extremely high, that I know. We can't guarantee results. That's the life of the body, and everyone's just going to do their best. But let me tell you, Miranda's is very close to 100, if that, and very, very high. And this is where I think, you really nailed it with having that support, the community, and all the processes involved. Now, one of your secret tools in your bags of tricks that comes along with your program is the one product I've fallen in love with. It was the one product I decided I wanted to become an advocate for, because I saw so much transformation on this medicinal mushroom journey of mine, where I started to realize medicinal mushrooms were so powerful for health. They were turning around biochemistry so quick, so fast. A lot of my practitioners that started to understand the power behind them started to use them in their protocols. I know you're definitely one of them. What I loved about the company we found was that they infused the medicinal mushrooms in coffee and tea, which we show every week when we talk to our practitioners. Maybe discuss why they love, and why you love, Miranda, the reishi infused coffees, teas, the capsules, because I'm telling you right now, people are loving this product. We've been back ordered for the longest time. It's just until, September, the company started being able to kind of restock the global growth of the organo product. But maybe you can talk a little bit about why you use the coffee and tea in part of your metabolic reset program, if you're good with that.
Yes. So I've been using it since the day that I met you, when you made me my first cup. So it was you. And it totally changed my life. So when I was totally adrenally taxed and in my crash, I could not have caffeine at all. I couldn't drink decaf coffee. If I would drink a Starbucks or a half calf, I was just super caffeine sensitive, because I was so adrenally, compromised. And so I still am fairly caffeine sensitive, but I can drink 5 cups of this coffee a day. And let me tell you what, it's my non-negotiable supplement. It's my non-negotiable supplement. It is genius that it comes in coffee and tea, and I can drink literally as much as I want. And the more that I drink, the better I feel, because nobody's going to be swatting a cup of coffee out of my hand. Like, I love my coffee, and the King is my favorite, although I love all of my clients use the King, the black, the green, and the red teas, and I use the spores for people as well. And so I can't say enough about that, just because, you know, coffee can be something that makes that stress response, you know, over exaggerate even more and take us further down and become a stressor. So I tell people that if they're going to drink coffee, that this is the coffee that they need to drink. A lot of my people are coming off of sugar, so being able to balance blood sugar, and you know, we're doing some intermittent fasting, and so it becomes a tool that they, you know, just love. And it is one of the secret weapons, because if I was using regular coffee for my fasting, I think it might make their cravings worse in the beginning, and that makes it harder. So there's 1,000 different reasons on why I use it, but I just know I lost 10 pounds just changing over my coffee and tea with my own blood sugar balance issues, even though I felt like my diet was pretty square on. So the power of the Ganoderma or the reishi mushroom is awesome. And like I said, it's non-negotiable in my practice. It comes in every one of the welcome kits for my clients. And I get such amazing compliments. Like, I had one client that was a doctor, actually, and she had multiple sclerosis. She had 1 cup of the King, and she said, "What is in this? Because my pain level is the best it's ever been after." And I know it's the coffee, because I felt worse before I drank it. So the power is great, and I love to share it with people. I love to see, you know, people balancing their blood sugar and, you know, their fibromyalgia pain going away. You know, we're reducing the inflammation with the food, but the Ganoderma is just a great tool. And like I said, secret weapon of the reset and just our toolkit as practitioners, right?
I love hearing the stories of practitioners when they try the product, because at that convention that I met you at, there were hundreds of practitioners that day, and we served the organo coffee saying, hey, upgrade your habit. You know, you love it. We're going to remove the guilt. We're going to upgrade the habit. We're going to put a superfood in, something that you never forget to do. And that's one thing that kind of piqued my interest too, was that I've been formulating supplements for years, but I found coffee was one of those products. No matter how hard I tried, Miranda, I had better success getting people off of sugar, dairy, gluten. Coffee was the absolute worst. And what I found this product, and I said, wait a minute, they're putting a superfood in it. They're alkalizing it. The superfood already shows in general how it is scientifically proven to balance blood sugar and help detox and balance hormones. Wow, what if we just upgraded people's habit, and all of a sudden doing what they were doing, every sip they were nourishing their body. And I always tell people, look, bodies respond to frequency, intensity, timing of any stimulation. So if I gave you a shot of tequila every hour, what do you think would happen? You'd be kind of really, you know, dancing on the ceiling at that point. But when you give the body nourishment over and over and over again, whether it's a healthier cup of coffee, whether it's, you know, more whole foods, you know, and reducing that, you know, body inflammation, sugar, the cravings for sugars too. I hear a lot of people saying that they are reducing their cravings with it. But what I especially love is when I get already people that are healthy, all of a sudden realize, I didn't know I could take this just a little bit further or a lot further. So you just never know until you try it. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you, Miranda, and find out about your program, and then you did say something earlier, it's not necessarily for weight loss either. Maybe somebody is hearing this going, I don't want to necessarily lose weight, but I like the idea of resetting my body and having better choices, empowering myself and being around a community. Can they be a part of this? That would be question number 1. Question number 2 is, how can we find you? Let us know where do we go, who do we call, what your social is, so people can take a look and see if this is a good fit. And is there a waiting list? Because I think you also take people in groups, right? You don't just mass produce everyone a result. You decide, here's where I cap it, because this is so much I can work with. Maybe you can speak on that.
Well, first of all, this is for anybody. So everybody's trying to find the right diet that works for them. And when I use the word diet, I mean the way that you're going to fuel your body. So there's a lot of conflicting information out there. And there's also some pieces about different plans that work. Okay. So it's being able to like put your blinders on and just focus on what's going to work and what's going to get you there. Okay. So if you know that you're struggling with your health, no matter what it is, we're going to get to the root cause of that. I'm going to be able to teach you all of that, but also show you how to implement it into your life. So I was a kid that struggled with my weight, and I don't want your families to struggle. So one of my big whys is to get to you, to get to your kids. So I want this to be for you, your spouse, your kids, and then you tell others. So I have a pretty strong word of mouth business for this reason. Once you do it, you feel amazing, you go pay it forward, and you need the help. You need the individualized help on how to figure out how to get there. And so that's what this is. So like I said, it's the 101 that we all need to know about our body and implementing it in a way that sticks for you. And so when I get on the phone with you individually, although the big rocks are the same, the path to get there is very different for each person. And so my calls are very different from one person to the next. But as a group, we're all moving together. So hopefully that's illustrating that well. But people can get a hold of me. My website is called resetwithmiranda.com. And so the best way to get a hold of me is just kind of peruse the information about the course and everything, but it's to fill out an application and schedule a call. So I do a free call because I want to hear your story. I want to hear your individualized, challenges, so that I can share with you how this is going to work for you. So instead of talking about the overarching points that we have on this call, as I can talk to you directly about your Hashimoto's or your rheumatoid arthritis or your high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and all those other medications that you're taking that come along with, usually increased weight. So resetwithmiranda.com, and you can schedule a free call. I start groups on the weekend, so I will start another group this month. And so I start a couple of groups every month, so you can definitely get on the schedule as soon as you can so that I can get you into the next group. It's a 12-week program. You can also find me on Facebook. So I have a Reset with Miranda Facebook page for my business, but also on my page, Miranda Sommer, Sommer. I can share a lot more on Facebook there. Facebook kind of likes to control what you can do. And so a lot of my testimonials and information I share on my personal page. So follow me there, send me a friend request, send me a personal message. And I love to connect with you individually. So this is a very personalized journey, as was mine. And so I want it to be that for you and connect you to my amazing group and my tribe on the backside, because that's one of the biggest perks of joining the program is the community that comes with it.
I love it. Thank you for joining us today, Miranda. I just want to make sure people know where to find you. So if you want to hear more, and I love the fact that you take a complimentary discovery call. Listen, are we a good fit? I think that's the healthiest thing anyone can do. Don't just sign up and all of a sudden we're going to promise you a bunch of things. Are we a good fit? Are your expectations meeting what it is that I have to offer? And if it's a yes, fantastic. I'd love to work with you. If not, no big deal. And I think that contributes to your success rate because you know who's ready and who's willing. And willing, coachable, and hungry is what it takes to really have a transformation and a good coach that can move you along the way. So find out a little more, connect with Miranda. If you want to know more about the coffee, you can even start there. She definitely retails that as well. So start somewhere, but start, because really it's about you taking care of you. We're not perfect, but I love what you quoted, Miranda. I'm actually going to use that today. And quote you, that food is either helping us or it's hurting us. It's either camp, right? Is it helping or is it hurting? And when we start to differentiate, just that simple decision can really start to transform our lives. So join us every other Friday. We're going to wrap it up with Miranda for this segment. You can definitely find her online on her personal Facebook page, where you'll probably be able to see more of her transformation stories, or resetwithmiranda.com. Is where you can find her as well. You can also follow us. We do post our recordings. If for some reason you want to share this with a loved one, feel free to share the link and the podcast, Empowered Through Health, every other Friday. We meet here at 4 p.m. Stay tuned as we feature guests around the world like Miranda with online platforms that are having tremendous breakthroughs for people around the world. And thank you for being with us today, Miranda. I'm excited about the new year. What a great way to kick off the 2021. Reset your metabolism, take control of your life, transform into the version you've always wanted to be with the tribe that can support you. Stay tuned to our shows. We'll keep featuring different practitioners and giving you different tools for you to create that amazing life you were meant to live, so you can be the best version of you, because that's ultimately what this world needs. So have a beautiful day. Stay tuned for our coffee commercial if you'd like, sponsored by a lot of the founders and distribution partners from Organo, because we love our coffee. And if it's somewhere you can start, hey, try changing your coffee and see what it does for you. Have a super day, everyone. Thank you for being with us, Miranda. And we'll see you 2 weeks from now with our next special guest. Ciao for now.
Bye.